So in previous episodes of the BB&J Podcast, I've talked about different forms of marketing, especially for this specific series on terms, right? So this week, I'm talking about one that is really data-driven, and that is account-based marketing. Like I said, that's what I'm going to be talking about on today's episode of the BB&J Podcast. I'm your host, John Lint, and let's get into it. So to start, what is account-based marketing, right? Simple defining terms. That's what I do. Now, account-based marketing is a strategic approach to business marketing based on account awareness in which an organization considers and communicates with individual prospect or customer accounts as a market of one. Now, I know that was pretty jargon heavy, pretty marketing lingo heavy, so let me break it down. Account-based marketing focuses on understanding the customer, understanding the demographics that the customer is in, and then tailoring a specific message for that ideal customer, right? So I have the things that I'm looking for. I have the people that I know will be good customers who will get a lot out of the experience, who I want to work with, who want to work with me, and then I custom tailor the content for them. That is what is referred to as account-based marketing. So, what are some examples? Well, account-based marketing, like I said, focuses heavily on the niche, right? The specific individual. So if I'm looking at a specific product and I'm noticing that it's being sold primarily to women in their 40s, right? Then I want to tailor the content around that product, promotions around that product, to women in their 40s. Because I know that that's who I want to sell to, because that's who buys from me, right? If I know that a specific demographic of people wants to work with me, then I want to tailor my content to them. Not just like targeting, but tailored content. So, great example, right? If I'm specifically trying to buy and sell real estate in a specific area, well, I want to be targeting people in that area, right? If I know that, the 80% of people in that area meet some sub-demographic, then I can further niche down and target them. And this kind of goes into building your ideal customer profile, right? Understanding this is the person that I want to work with me. This is the kind of person who does a lot of work with me, like I said. And then tailoring the content to them, tailoring the content to that. So that's what I mean when I say a market of one, right? Because I'm not just trying to market to any person. I'm trying to market to you specifically. And I'm trying to give you content, promotions, all the other stuff that I know is going to resonate with you, that's going to affect you well, because you're the kind of person who works with me. You're the kind of person who buys from me. You're the kind of person who I know is going to get good value out of what I'm putting out, right? So that, in a nutshell, is, or ABM, some examples of it, account-based marketing. So how do you get started? Like I said, this is a very data-driven, data-heavy subgroup, subgenre focus of marketing. So you really have to understand who's buying with you, who's selling with you, right? Who wants to work with you. And if you personally know every single one of your customers, you can probably just look for those commonalities yourself. But if you're scaling, if you don't necessarily interact with all your customers face to face every single day, and remember all of them, then you are going to have to rely on data and data collection. So finding platforms, and usually this is part of social media. They do a good job of bringing all of this to you as a business. Take a look at, what they, who they are, right? What they do, the kind of demographics that you're engaging with, and you can see that on many platforms. I mean, I see a lot of TikTokers. They'll show their male to female ratio, and be like, oh well, I guess I got to be making more content for whichever gender. But that is a real thing, right? Engage with the audience that engages with you. Pretty simple. So with account-based marketing, getting started is just looking at the platforms that tell you about your followers, tell you about your audience. And then from there, looking at those common things and trying to create as complete a profile of your ideal customer, of your target demographic as fully as you can. Once you have that, start tailoring content to that profile, that theoretical person. Because you're not just trying to target anyone, you're trying to target these specific people, right? I mean, even a fast food place, that's national or even international, they're still targeting hungry people, and their content's tailored to hungry people. Then the more niche you are, the more niche your content should be. So just get started with that, okay? This is my demographic. Let me target them. On that note, I'd like to thank you so much for listening and or watching. We're going to be continuing this term series as long as there's still terms that people are curious about and are asking about. I do appreciate all the suggestions. So if you have anything you're not sure about, ask away in the comments, and I would certainly get into it. On that note, I appreciate it, and I'll see you next week.